There we go. All right, perfect. Okay, thank you all very much for showing up to learn a little bit about Scenic and Emerald. We are one company, but we have two brands. It really branches out to help attract a broader clientele, and it offers your clients quite a bit more. So with Scenic, that is our ultra luxury, all-inclusive brand. Emerald is our contemporary luxury, mostly inclusive brand. And as I kind of go through and talk about this, that mostly inclusive will begin to make more sense. We are owned by one gentleman and his wife. This is Glenn and Karen Maroney. We have no investors. He makes the calls on everything, and she spends all of his money designing these ships, making them stunningly beautiful, and she has very expensive taste. When you get on board, you will know that she has impeccable taste as well. We'll start off by talking about our Emerald yachts. We now have two of them, sister ships. Oh, I don't know why that jumped. I apologize. My marketing sent me this slide and it looks like it has a timer on it. Did I stop it? I think I did. Okay. So we have two of them, the Azora and Sakara. Azora launched in 22. Sakara launched just last year. 100 guest maximum, 72 to 74 staff members to take care of those 100 guests. And these ships are breathtaking. I have a brief video I'll play for you that kind of gives you an idea of what it's like to be on board. Thinking. Now, I've been in the river cruise industry for 12 years. The huge draw I have, I'm so sorry, I don't know why it's doing that, to these ships is that they have the same style as a river cruise as far as like the number of guests on board. You're going to have a more intimate experience, and that does not want to stay up. I apologize. Oh my goodness, all of these are jumping through. Yeah, you have small vessels, 100 guests maximum. It's definitely an intimate experience. Beautiful staterooms, balcony suites with a true veranda. You have our owner suite, lots of space to spread out. And we have the Amici Bar and Lounge, which what I love about our bars and lounges is that, I apologize, I got a bunch of new slides from my marketing department. And I was like, ooh, these are so nice. And the pictures are so great. And I went ahead and put them in. And it looks like they put a timer on everything. So I apologize. Okay, we stopped. The Amici Bar and Lounge. Let's back up a little bit. The Amici Bar and Lounge it's similar to a river cruise. That's where you go for your cruise manager meetings, your evening entertainment, to socialize with the other guests on board. But we also have amazing spaces on board to go out and meet the other guests and spend time. And with 100 people on board, you never feel like there are actually 100 people on board because there's a lot of space to spread out. Here we have our La Cucina dining area. Breakfast and lunch will be buffet options only. Breakfast, you will have some items that you can order off of the menu. Lunch is going to be purely buffet. And then dinner is a sit-down menu only. You're going to have your chef's recommendations, beef, chicken, fish, vegetarian options, wonderful vegetarian options if you have clients who are looking for that. It's not just a salad, enjoy. It's actually designed beautifully. Then we also have staples that are always available on the other side of the menu. Chicken, beef, fish. I'll tell you, most guest favorite thing on there is the spaghetti with bolognese. And that's because our executive chef is Sicilian and trained in Italy. It is sensational. Now, for the dining, as soon as you walk to the other side of the dining room, you are out at the aft of the ship and we have a terrace. Since these are warm water destination vessels, day and night, you have beautiful, perfect weather with the most amazing scenery you can possibly imagine. So most of our guests want to dine outside. But the beauty of this, you don't have to fight for a place to sit because we have dining times that are wide open, and it's no scheduled dining where everybody has to be there by a certain time. We all know that in River, dinner is at 7 o'clock or 7:30, and they want everybody there so they can have plates on the table for everybody at the same time. Doesn't work that way on these Emerald vessels. You show up to dinner before 9 o'clock, you're going to have a great meal at any given time. We have our sky deck. I think this is the most underutilized spot on the ship. And oh my goodness, it's going to keep jumping away from me. The sky deck has a bar up top. There's a bartender there day and night. I think they go away around midnight unless people are there. I think they're there till about 2 in the morning. There is a hot tub up top. Now, again, we're in warm destinations, so the hot tub isn't 104 degrees. It's maybe 100 degrees so that it's warmer than the air around you. During the day, a lot of our guests will either go to the pool or go up. You see those big loungers that are all the way around? You can actually throw your towel down and lay down on some of those. I will share that for New Year's, they had a party up on the sun deck, or the sky deck, and they invited all of the guests on board. There were 64 of us. So everybody was up on the sky deck. The musician was up there. They had lighting, they had music. The cruise director is an amazing singer. She was singing with the musician. And about 11 o'clock at night, we're on our way to St. Kitts. The captain said, we're going to St. Bart's. I changed my mind. They have an amazing fireworks show right at midnight. And there are about 150 other yachts floating around in the bay. It's going to be amazing. So we redirect, we head over to St. Bart's, get there 1:45, and it is breathtaking. All the yachts with the light shining down underneath into the water, the fireworks coming up over the island. It was a magical experience. And the captain has the ability to make those types of changes. And we woke up the next morning in St. Kitts on schedule and had a beautiful excursion. This is our aqua pool and cafe. I took this picture actually in November. You have beautiful views all around. The water is heated. We have little floating beds you can lay on in there. Behind what you can't see is there's actually a cafe. All day long, complimentary snacks, gelato, sweets, treats. There's even a big espresso machine. They'll make you specialty coffee drinks, serve you cocktails. And the end of April, I believe it's April 23rd, we go all inclusive with drinks on our Emerald yachts. Yeah, we realize we're a luxury item, and that was one element missing. And drinks aren't that expensive. I'm not a big drinker, but I have a few drinks on each sailing, and I don't have a big bill. I think I get a bigger bill for the little delicious snacks they leave in the room in these little jars. because I'm a snacker. But yeah, all inclusive with drinks. We have a phenomenal fitness center. Considering the size of the ship, we have great equipment on board. Sorry, it's going to keep jumping on these. Treadmill, elliptical, cycles, and that one's not going to stay by going back. And we have a resistance training center where you can get a full workout in. In 22 and 23, these ships have each won an award for the Cruise Critics Best New Luxury Ship. So these are award-winning vessels. And everybody loves the water sports platform. The marina platform is phenomenal. We have 2 floating platforms you can walk out onto. Then there's an aquaglide trampoline, kayaks, paddle boards. We even have sea bobs. And a lot of people don't know what sea bobs are. You kind of lay on them and you grab a hold of a handle and you push a button and it'll drag you through the water. If you tip it down, it will drag you under the water and shoot you up the other side. They are a ton of fun, and that is all included with your cruise. You don't pay extra. Beach barbecue day, which they're in the Caribbean, we always have a beach barbecue day. We take all of the water sports equipment onto the beach. The aquaglide trampoline is right off the beach. Everything is there for you to go out and play and enjoy. Just to give you an idea, when I say warm water destinations, everything that you're looking at here is scheduled for this year, next year, minus the Red Sea. I don't think that's happening, even though it's a little far out and we haven't made any announcements. I just kind of have a hunch. So I left this in here to kind of give you an idea of what we do when we do one of these Caribbean cruises. And the Caribbean is still available until the end of April. We have both ships there.
Love Joost Van Dyke.
So we did a barbecue on the beach in Joost Van Dyke, which was amazing. It's just us. We have a private resort with live music. We have lawn chairs out, loungers, umbrellas. They serve drinks all day long. They are bringing you cocktails, beer, just taking care of everybody. The barbecue is sensational. What was even more fun than that, unexpected, after dinner, the captain had mentioned he had moved a half a mile down the beach because Foxy's, a world famous bar, is right there in Joost Van Dyke. So they had Zodiacs going from the ship over to the little dock they have out in front of Foxy. So think about this. You're getting out on the water sports platform, walking onto the Zodiac, sitting on the edge of the boat at night, looking up at these stars that are everywhere, going over to Foxy's. Not only was it the guests who were on board, but all of the staff members you get close to were also over at Foxy's, and everybody had a sensational time. Sadly, it ends at 11 o'clock and the captain makes everybody go back so he can be on schedule, but it was a lot of fun. The other thing I will mention, Vieques Island. We do a bioluminescent bay tour, and it's like stepping into Avatar. These microscopic plankton, every time you run your fingers through the water, everything around your hands glows. So as you're out on the kayaks, there's no light. Your guide has a little tiny blue light on his head, and as everybody's paddling to get out, everything around you is glowing from the plankton. It is amazing. So I did mention that Emerald is mostly inclusive. There's only one thing that's changing on this list. We're still at complimentary soda, beer, and wine with your lunch and dinner, but we're just a couple of months out from that being all inclusive with your drinks. We have complimentary filtered water. I know it says bottled water, but they refill these water bottles throughout the day and every day for you to make sure you have clean, fresh water in your room to drink. You have on a 7-night ocean cruise, at least 3 or 4 included excursions. We have complimentary Wi-Fi. You don't have to purchase a Wi-Fi package, and it's Starlink. So some of my travel partners, if you have to work on a ship, you can actually do it. I don't suggest you do it, but you are more than welcome to do it. We even have electric bikes. In St. Bart's, we take all the bikes over before we start getting our guests off the ship. Same with Vieques Island, and you can go cruise around on electric bikes. We wrap the port charges into the cost of the cruise. So you're not going to see a breakdown of taxes and port charges in there because it's already rolled in. Your transfers to and from the airport included on embarkation and disembarkation day, and gratuities for your staff and your tour guides, all included. We do have free air promotions, and usually the way free air works is if you pay in full 10 months before your cruise, we're going to offer you complimentary airfare, and it's based on the category stateroom you're booked in. So it can be economy, premium, or business class air. In lieu of that, you can take a $1,000 per person promotion rather than the free air, if that makes more sense for the way you're booking yourself. Okay, let's see if these slides don't run away from me. Okay, I think we're good. So we're moving. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. We are going to talk about our Emerald Starships, our river cruise vessels. These are award-winning. They've been in operation, I want to say, since 2013. That's when I worked at one of our competitors in reservations, and I was looking online at these beautiful ships in awe of their amenities and how beautiful they are. But since then, we have won a ton of awards. And this is a contemporary luxury brand. There's a lot of amazing stuff. I love the rooms with the sun lounge and the window that drops down rather than an actual veranda, because that veranda takes up a huge chunk of your room with some of our competitors. Here you have 160 to 180 square feet on average that is yours for you. We also have a heated pool that in the evening turns into a cinema because it's indoors. In the summertime, the retractable roof opens up. In the wintertime, we definitely keep that roof closed so that our guests can continue to enjoy that pool area. We have a spa, a salon, and a fitness center. So if you want to stay fit and active while you're traveling, we have that covered. If you'd like to get a massage, got you covered. If you want to get your hair done really nicely before dinner one night, we can take care of you, or every night. We can take care of you. The Horizon Bar and Lounge. So river cruising, the lounge is where you go to socialize, to get to know the other guests on board. The ship has 180 people maximum. Usually you're looking at about 140 people on average on a sailing. So it's easy to get to know everybody. And river cruise vessels are quite small, so it's really easy to get to know everybody if you're social like I am. Very easy. We also have your evening entertainment here. We bring on entertainers from the regions we're cruising through. We will also do your cruise manager discussions here. We have a couple of game nights up here as well. This is where everything really kind of happens on board the ship, except for eating. That happens at Reflections Restaurant, where you're going to have cuisine from the regions that you're cruising through. We realize that a lot of people who travel are foodies. So they want to taste the cultures of the places that they're going to. So here we have you covered with the food, but we're also serving complimentary soda, beer, and wine with lunch and dinner. And the wines come from the regions we're cruising through as well. So I did mention we have local entertainment on board. So we bring local singers, dancers, and musicians to perform for our guests so you can have those cultural experiences while you're on board the ship with us. And just a map of where we cruise around Europe. We're everywhere except for the Seine River, which I'm waiting for that. We also do the Mekong Delta through Vietnam and Cambodia. All right, let's talk about Scenic now. We're moving from Emerald to Scenic. We have really made waves, pun intended, with our Eclipse vessels. We have the Eclipse 1 that came out in 2019. Hard year to move into after that, but she's moving quite well. The Eclipse 2 launched last year. These ships are the world's first discovery and expedition yachts. Polar Class 6. They can cover the Drake's Passage in 36 hours if you're going to Antarctica. Most people, everybody does it in 48. Everybody does. And sometimes it takes us that long if conditions aren't permitting, but we have 4 azipods on our ship, so it's rudderless. There's no vibration. We always are operating on 2 of those azipods to get wherever we're going. When we hit the Drake's Passage, we kick on a 3rd one so that we can move through it smoother and faster. And the beautiful thing about that is we give our guests the expectations it's going to take 2 days, but we get in early and we allow them more time to do special things while they're in Antarctica. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Now, a lot of people who see these Eclipse ships and hear all of our Antarctica and expedition they think that's what these ships do. That is part of what they do. That is the design behind them. But they're also designed for discovery, like the Kimberly in Australia. Or if you want to go on a Mediterranean cruise, or maybe up the Pacific coast or to Japan, we have your standard cruise voyages available in ultra luxury. I have a little video I'm going to play for you. It doesn't give you as much of the onboard experience, but it gives you a feel of what it's like to take a cruise on the Eclipse and the experiences we give our guests off the ship.
As we embark on this journey, it's truly going to be like no other adventure, no other experience that you've ever had before. See and the magnitude, just very overpowering, and I'll guarantee it will radiate within every cell of your body.
In the high Arctic, wildlife is not there on shore waiting for you. It forces you to be still, to watch and to listen. What to expect, but it's guaranteed to always be unforgettable.
These remote settlements where people have not just survived, but truly flourished for thousands of years. It is a privilege to spend time amongst people who have lived in and in tune with their environment for generations.
On Christmas morning, we woke up in Fornia Bay in the Antarctic. It was so calm, so quiet. All you could hear around you were the whales breathing.
Have a bunch of penguins or seals and they turn to come towards you and they want to look at you like you look at them. That's an incredible connection that people take home and they never forget.
Kind of losing words to describe where we are right now. Flying off the ship and getting that experience of that sensation, that feeling as you slide off the side and into forward flight, there's nothing like it. I still get chills just talking about it because it's just beautiful.
We can really make small memories unforgettable. Like this dish you had in your childhood, and we had that actually a lot of times that guests come to us and said, "Oh my God, I didn't have that dish in years." It really created a memory to my childhood or some very special, unique day, and yeah, we love that. It always gives me goosebumps every single time.
When you go to visit the winery, when you'll be taken to an olive grove, when the locals will show you how they make the olive oil and the passion, how they are presenting it, that's only Mediterranean. Let's say the French may have sophistication, but the Italians and Greek have the love for their food.
I actually was describing to the family, and I said, this has been one of the best experiences of my whole life.
Scenic has some stunningly beautiful ships. I will say the off-ship experiences they create are some of the most memorable and amazing experiences you will ever have in your life. They are phenomenal. You have butlers while you're on board. All of your excursions are included, well-appointed staterooms, spa amenities that are complimentary. And we have beautifully appointed staterooms, as I had just mentioned, but we call them all suites because on Scenic Eclipse, every room is a suite. Our beds, Scenic and Emerald, custom made for us. Egyptian cotton sheets, down comforters, down pillows. You have true luxury and comfort here. Our owner suite, 2,100 square feet, very spacious, walk-in closet. And I apologize, I'm fighting this PowerPoint with the timer on the slides. You have a lot of luxury there. Even on the Eclipse 2, in the bathroom for the owner suite, we put infrared spas in there, seated chairs so our guests can use it within their own suite. This is the Scenic Lounge. We call this our whiskey bar because we have 135 whiskeys from around the world back there. The bartender will literally do an around the world tasting for our guests. And you can try as many as you can possibly drink all at once or spread it out. For our guests who aren't whiskey drinkers, that's not all we have. We have top shelf spirits across the board. Our bartenders are mixologists, so they have their own signature cocktails and mocktails. I know that not everybody is a drinker. Some people want to have a fun and nice drink without alcohol. Our bartenders have everybody covered. One of the things that makes these ships so special, they are very intimate. They only hold 228 people maximum. When we do expedition, it's only 200 guests. But there are 10 restaurants on board, 9 bars and lounges, helicopters, a submersible. There's a lot of experiences you can have right on board the ship. I don't have all 10 of our restaurants, but I have a few to mention here. The Yacht Club is going to be where you go for breakfast and lunch. And if you're an early riser, this is the place that is open earliest. They have a phenomenal sit-down menu, but they have one of the most amazing buffets you will see anywhere. And it's not serve yourself buffet. You walk up to the counter and you tell them what you would like, and one of our cooks will serve you your plate of food. If you want something a little more elevated, maybe you can go to Lumiere for dinner. It's open for dinner only. This is our French restaurant, a 9-course meal paired with 6 different wines throughout the evening. And they are paired by a sommelier who will come out and tell you why he selected that wine for your next course and how it pairs so well. It is a next level experience. Elements on the bottom right is our main restaurant open for lunch and dinner. And then over on the bottom left, we have Coco's. That art was custom made for us. It is breathtaking. When you walk in, every element of Coco's is magnificent. The first part when you walk in is actually a sushi bar. Everything is imported from Japan in our sushi bar. As you walk into the middle of the restaurant, it's a different restaurant. It's still Coco's, but it is our Asian fusion section. And then you go to the very back, you go through another door, and you are at our teppanyaki bar. Now here you're either going to have Asian, Middle Eastern, or Indian food. The menu rotates every 3 days. As a matter of fact, the menus throughout the entire ship rotate every 3 days, and we don't repeat for 21 days. So for our guests who are on long cruises with us, they're able to have unique and fun dining experiences the entire time they're on board. We have a full fitness center, cable resistance training, cardio equipment, dumbbells, complimentary towels, a water station there for you. We do provide our guests with water bottles so they can carry it around, go fill up their water right there. You can even have sparkling water while you're working out, if that works for you. And I love this. Just on the other side of the ship, away from the gym, oh, there's one of those slides again. We have a yoga, Pilates, and meditation studio. We have TRX hooks up in the ceiling so they can put either TRX bands or these, they look like sheets, but they're for some of the yoga classes we do. We even do guided meditation. And yes, all the Tibetan singing bowls and crystals and everything are in there to give you that warm and peaceful experience while you're in this room. When they're not teaching classes, it's a quiet space. And some of our guests like to go in there to stretch, relax, maybe have a little quiet time to themselves. So these vessels have some really incredible equipment on board. Our stabilizers are 60% larger than they need to be. And actually, I'm going to play you a quick little video that kind of explains how they work.
Scenic Eclipse is fitted with large stabilizers to keep the ship steady for guests. As water flows over the stabilizers, a gyroscope detects when the ship starts to roll. The stabilizer fins, which are 60% bigger than the average stabilizer fitted to a traditional ship of the same size, adjust up or down to direct water over or under them. This action creates counterforce, reducing rolling by 95%.
So when I was talking to the captain about the stabilizers, he said you would find a stabilizer of that size on an Oasis class ship. So when you cross the Drake's Passage, no stabilizer is going to stop a 7-foot swell from feeling that 7-foot swell. But when I cruise the California coastline, those are choppy waters. I grew up in California. I know those waters. They're very choppy. You barely felt it. Yes, when the water moves, the ship moves, but those stabilizers make all the difference in the world. This image here brings me to another amazing piece of technology that we have. We have dynamic stabilization system that will hold the ship in place where we're not able to drop anchor. This is an ice shelf that our equipment determined was safe for our guests to go out and explore. We couldn't drop anchor here. The sea bottom is way too far down. So this dynamic stabilization system processes thousands of pieces of information per second, calculating how to keep the ship locked exactly where we tell it to stay until we release it from that system. So here our guests were able to go out and explore uncharted territories. The other thing that the captain said when I was talking about this image right here, he said, when we get to a destination in Antarctica, the ship is like watching a flower blossom. In 15 minutes, our kayaks, paddleboards, Zodiacs, helicopters, and submersible are all out and ready, even before our guests get their coats on, their polar boots, and are out ready to go on their excursions. We're waiting for them. So we have a very efficient system in place. And all those things that I just mentioned are available for you at no charge. We keep your polar boots stored in the mudroom. We provide you with the parka that is yours to keep. When you book Antarctica, we'll ask, hey, what's your jacket size? And we'll make sure it's in your closet when you arrive. We have a helicopter. You can explore and have unique excursions with us that you can't have with anybody else. We even have a submersible. It only goes 200 meters. We are not looking for the Titanic. And I love this particular itinerary. A lot of people who go to Antarctica want to see the emperor penguins. With this ship and this itinerary, you get to see the emperor penguins. We do have excursions or an itinerary that goes past the Arctic Circle as well. So this is something we're extremely excited about. We are going to the Kimberley in Australia, June of this year. We'll be there June through August. This is the most rugged and beautiful coastline in all of Australia. Some natural phenomena that are not found anywhere else in the world. And one of them is there on the right-hand side. They call it a horizontal waterfall. Now, this is a passage that the ocean moves through as the tides change, but it is so intense that it looks like a waterfall. We even have helicopter fishing, not fishing from the helicopter, but there's the Barramundi River that's only accessible via helicopter. We'll be taking guests there. There's a lot of different places throughout the Kimberley that you can only access with a helicopter. And you have the oldest cave writings or drawings anywhere in the entire world right here in the Kimberley. Talking about our river cruise vessels for Scenic, we call them spaceships because they were designed with the luxury of space in mind. You have a butler who takes care of your every need on these vessels. The butler will also do 1 bag of laundry for every room on board. So that's included, no extra charge. If you're in a suite, you can do as much laundry as you want. But everybody else, it's at least 1 bag. And I know you'll get the documents that it'll say 3 kilos. The butler confirmed with me, nobody weighs the bag. You fill it, we'll wash it. And the rooms are so wonderfully appointed. I love that we go with the sun lounge over a veranda. We have the window that drops halfway down, so you get the nice open air experience. You have the little table and chairs. We do offer complimentary in-room dining with Scenic. So there's a lot of nice amenities here. You have a mini bar that's stocked with food and drinks, all included. And our Grand Deluxe Suite, beautifully appointed. Again, very incredible use of space. You have that little wall that goes in between, but doesn't completely block it off. So you have that nice open feel when you're in these rooms. And then the Royal Panorama Suite. This is at the aft of the ship. So if you have guests who are going to be troubled by the vibrations of the ship, don't put them here because this is definitely over the engines. But if you have somebody or you don't mind, like me, I sleep like a baby with stuff like that. This is the room to go for. There is a pool up on the sun deck. It is heated, but during the winter time, it's not hot enough to jump in unless you're Canadian. I've seen that happen. Indulgent spaces to relax, a spa. We have a salt therapy lounge. We also have a fitness center for our guests who like to stay active while they're traveling. And with Scenic, every one of our European vessels has 25 e-bikes with complimentary guided bike tours as well. And Scenic is a little bit different with the dining. We have our main dining room, the crystal dining area, but the ships are either going to have portobellos or l'Amour. In France, it's l'Amour. Anywhere else, it's portobellos. Up on the other side of the lounge, it's a tasting menu that we serve for dinner only. It's reservations required, but everybody gets an opportunity to experience this. Now, I did mention that Scenic does some pretty special things off ship. Our Scenic Enrich program is what makes this so special. Scenic Enrich, basically every itinerary we do, river and yacht, we're going to have an enhanced experience. In Vienna, it's going to be a Mozart and Strauss concert at the Liechtenstein Palace, where we are the only people there. There's not another ship or a couple of tour buses. We are the only ones there, and it is breathtaking. When I was in Bordeaux, we went to a chateau. And at that chateau, we were served their local wines and champagne. And then we were taken to one of the wine rooms that they turned into a concert hall. And we had a string quartet perform for us. So again, these are elevated experiences that are included with our Scenic Enrich program. Now, Scenic also has a vessel, 64 guests on the Mekong Delta. Scenic and Emerald have the most modern and luxurious vessels cruising the Mekong Delta through Vietnam and Cambodia. So for people who are looking for something different, life-changing, this is the way to go. Scenic and Emerald both offer 2-for-1 fares across the board. So anything you see online has a 2-for-1 fare automatically included when you break it down and you price it out. And the promotions we run go on top of the 2-for-1 fares. And I will email this over to you, but we also have a show special for you to offer anybody that is looking to book within the next couple of weeks. It's 150 off of our river cruises and 250 off of our yacht cruises. And that is everything. I can take your questions, and it looks like we lost somebody.
That was excellent, Brandon.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
good. Yeah, Bridget had to go. She's a jeweler, salesperson, so she had a show. But
Oh, nice.
I had a question. She and her husband are interested in selling in the United States on some river boats as well. Have you started those yet? Or are those in the works or what?
That probably won't happen. Operating in the US
Okay.
is so difficult because we have unions, you have to have liquor licenses. The season is much shorter than it is
Yeah.
over in Europe. So I know Viking took that one on, but I have not heard of any other lines that are open to doing that.
Right. I knew that they had some.
There's quite a few, not quite a few, but there are some in, here in Uncruise and some of the other American cruise lines.
Yeah, American Cruise Line
have
is one
some American
she's
Queen.
looked at, and I'm certified for that as well. And she's looking
Uncruise
at
is
that.
great.
So.
Yeah,
I
Which
like
one?
Uncruise, and Uncruise is nice, and I personally prefer the style of American Cruise Line over American Queen Voyages, but that's just me. The taste, the style on board, it's a very different experience than
Yeah, she's very patriotic, so they're very excited about that one. So
beautiful, wonderful. Yeah,
I'm
she'll
going
love
to
it.
jump off because Daxton's
Yes.
birthday is tonight. But listen,
Oh, well, have fun. You guys have a
excellent.
great party. Thank you,
excellent.
Brandon.
And listen, Angie's a Spitfire, so good. And we will talk later. And thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.